Can you hear me okay? I can't hear you.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Great. All right. Hello, beautiful Pamela Schwartz. We got Sherry on here, and Gary, and Randy, and Priscilla. Miss Lanny, I think I owe you a call. You sent me a text, and I need to follow up with you. And we've got Noah. Hey, Noah. Cool looking.
Hi, Marianne.
Hello. Good to see you. What are you driving? Are you driving?
What am I driving?
Noah.
I am driving to a meeting.
Oh, okay. All right.
That's why I'm not making eye contact.
Okay. Do not make eye contact. Do not want you making eye contact. All right. I can see and hear you clearly. Oh, yay, Gary. I can see you clearly as well. All right, you guys. So, you got me tonight, and I'm going to train on some of the basics. How do you make money in this business? And Noah and a lot of you guys are, and so the other thing is, if you have anything that you want me to touch on tonight, if you want me to talk about, hang on a second here. I'm going to mute everybody really quick. Okay. Can you guys see me and hear me clearly? Thumbs up? Yeah. All right, good. Anyway, so I wanted to do a little bit of kind of back to the basics here, because I think sometimes when we, we go to the convention and we see people talking, we see these people up on stage, and we see the people doing the training and all that kind of stuff. And then we're kind of here and they're kind of up here. Does that make sense? And so I want to talk more about how do you get from here to up here, which I think is what all of us are striving for, especially people that are on this call. This is not a product call. This is more of business training. And so, Eric Worre says, get people in, right? Get them signed up, plug them in. And what does that mean? We're going to talk about that. And then move them along. And I don't know if you guys saw that training that he did. There's a video, and I posted it, I think it was on Masters, but about that crossing that line, right? When do you cross that line? And I remember before I kind of started doing this full time, I was involved in something else, and I was talking to my mentor, and she said, you know what? You're right at that point, right? That you got to make a decision. You're either going to cross the line, right, and keep moving, because I was already at a certain point, or I could leave. And so what we see is people come in, right? And before they cross the line, they might leave. So how is it that you get somebody in and you get them to cross that line, right? So they're going to stay. You know those people that are going to stay, right? You know that, like, I got people that are going to stay. It doesn't matter what, they're going to stay. And so those are the people that they just keep showing up, and maybe they haven't ranked up yet. Some of them might still be associates, but they're plugging in, they're coming to the meetings, they're going to the conventions because they want to go beyond. And so one way to get somebody to stay is to cross that line, right, is for them to make a little money. Eric Worre says, 80% of the people that make money in their first 90 days are going to stay, or, the first 30 days, or, in the first couple of weeks, right? If somebody makes some money and they get a check, they know there's possibilities and they're going to stay. So that's them crossing the line. Maybe you invite somebody to a convention and they go to an event. And so going to that event, right, gets them to cross the line. They get connections. They make relationships. They learn more about the company. They build their confidence. There's kind of that triangle, right? And so where's your confidence level at? Where's your belief level at? Do you believe in the company? Well, you might believe in the products, but you don't know anything about the company yet. So now you're going to go to an event, and now you know more about the company. So your belief level goes up. Okay, maybe you have that, you might have only one customer, but that's okay. That's okay. You're right, Pam. They might only have one customer. I have a couple of people that have 2 or 3 customers. They make a little money, but that's okay. Meet people where they're at. Where this is not a, I'm going to shame you business into, doing something more than you want to. Oh, somebody said that there's no sound. Can you guys hear me? Okay, so.
I can hear you fine.
All right, good. Charlene, it might be you. You might need to check your speaker or what have you. But anyway, and so getting people to cross that line, maybe, they start telling everybody, oh, I'm doing this exciting thing and I'm really pumped, right? So now it's almost like, oh, they can't leave because they've been telling everybody about it. Or you make a big thing, the recognition of somebody came in and now they're doing the business here, make that recognition part of what's going on. And how do you go about doing that with people? Like, for instance, I want to congratulate Sherry and John Funk, because Sherry has just become the next, what used to be the EMD, and I don't have those right here. I haven't have them memorized yet. Wait. Da-da-da. So she has just become a sales associate. Very good, thank you. So congratulations, and so it's like building that and recognition and making people feel good about the community, making people feel good about being here. And guess what? They want to stay. They're going to want to stay. They're going to plug in and they're going to keep going. And I've got people that have been around for, 5, 6 years, and they just buy product. But guess what? That's okay, because that volume, right? That volume in your business is what builds your business. How many people come in and only sign up 1 or 2 people? That's okay. And what I say is the business builders are going to start bubbling up, right? The people that come in, they're going to do it whether you're doing it or not. Because I've got some uplines that are, they're gone. But guess what? I came in, I'm going to keep doing it. Trish, who's my upline, she's going to keep doing it. The people in between, several levels between us and Tom, they might buy products because we make them money, but they're not building the business. So I believe the cream of the crop starts to bubble up, and it might take a year. It might take 2 years. It might take a freaking 5 years. Eric Worre said the average person takes 7 years to really grasp network marketing. So who cares how long you are here if you're okay with it? If you want to move faster, then move faster. You want to, rise up to the ranks, then rise up to the ranks. But know that people are going to come in and they're just going to end up being product users, and that's okay. And people are going to come in and they're going to sign up 1 or 2 people, but that's okay. And people are going to come in and they're going to rank up, to say sales associate or even senior associate. I've had people go up to senior associate and they're okay there. And so when people come to me, right, and they say, you know what, I'm not happy with what I'm doing. Okay, then I know now I'm going to step in. Now the leadership begins, right? I want to make sure that I'm leading people who want to be led. I'm not pushing people who don't want to be pushed. Does that make sense? And I think it's really important as a leader especially, and thank you, Noah, I appreciate it. And thanks for coming on. But really understanding and learning where people are at and where they want to go. And they may not want to go anywhere right now, but then something changes. And so somebody was asking me the other day, well, how do you know what to send people? A tool, right? I interview the heck out of people, and it might not be the first time I meet them. It might not be the second time I meet them. If it's somebody new, I'm building relationship. I'm building trust. If it's somebody that I know and they're like, yeah, I want to do this, but I'm not ready. I don't want to build a business right now. I just want to try some of the products. I'm like, that's great. Let's get you on some of the products. So meet people where they're at and understand that things may change. Like for me, I really came in the very beginning for products. And I had my own marketing business. I loved what I did, I thought. Why would I sell or move on from a business that I loved? Until I started learning more about network marketing. I still went to every convention, even though I had my own business. I still attended meetings every week, even though I had my own business. And slowly but surely, I started wrapping my head around network marketing. And it takes time. Some people, if they've already been in network marketing and they know what they're looking for and they're looking for a great company and you just happen to be there, then that's great. But 9 times out of 10, the people that come in, you're going to have to train. You're going to have to teach them how to be a network marketer. You're going to have to get them to read the books if that's what they want to do. And again, it's got to be, and I mean, I believe in making a stand, but it has got to be what they want it to be, because otherwise, guess what? They quit showing up. Have you ever had that where you keep pushing somebody and the next thing you know, they've disappeared and you're wondering why? Because you had a different agenda. You had an idea of where you wanted them to go. Believe me, everybody could use this. We know that. We know the products are great. We know the products work. But not everybody is ready to hear that yet. And a while back, I posted something about, planting that seed, right? Putting the seed in and growing the tree. And so, hold on a minute here. Hey, Miss Sherry. So it's, I keep trying to pin myself, but I'm not staying there. There we go. Okay. Oh, sorry. But anyway, and so, people, they'll tend to disappear because they're not ready yet, or they just haven't wrapped their head around it. And, what I tell my people too is like, if you've got something going on, or if there's a block, or you got to let me know, because sometimes I may not know what's going on with you. So as your upline, as somebody's your upline, you got to call them. You got to let them know. You got to say, you know what? I've been really thinking about this and I want to do more. What do I need to do? Where do I need to plug in? What books do I need to read? And vice versa, where somebody says, you know what? I really love these products. I want to share the health. I want to share what these products do for people. So where do I plug in at? And I know we talked about the CEO school, which is a great system. I know they're working on it and they're improving it. I've been on some of their calls. I've been on the website. And so it's a good place to plug people in, or plug them in wherever your culture is, wherever you, what I want to say is like wherever you feel good about. There's so much out there, right? There's so many other leaders. There's so much other training. So figure out what your culture is and plug people in. So that's what Eric Worre says, plug people in, whether it's coming to meetings, whether it's watching videos, whether it's going on Zoom trainings like this, whatever it is, plug people in so they can learn more, but learn more about what they want to learn about. People are amazed when I show them how many calls we have, right? We have calls on, essential oils, we have product calls, we have business building calls. And so plug people in. If they want to be business builders, plug them in to the business builders, the daily dose calls, listening to leaders, and third-party stuff. I mean, Eric Worre is doing a great job out there. I mean, it's really something that in this profession that I've seen that we really need. And so learning what Eric Worre talks about, the 7 skills, learn those skills. And where do you go about doing that? It might be in a book. It might be watching some other, trainings or what have you. But get good at the things that you want to get good at in order to help you do this business the way you want to do it. And I think that, so Priscilla's like the calls in this company are absolutely amazing, beginning with the Hair on Fire call. Correct. I am on the Hair on Fire call. I don't always get to announce, but most of the time I do. But it's a great place to kind of pump your energy up, get going, and figure out what your day is going to look like. Because whatever Tom talks about, there's always something inspirational that gets you moving in a direction that's the way to build your business. And so he's so good at that and telling great stories and sharing different stuff. And if you're not a leader yet, find a leader that you love, that you're passionate about, that you can, I have so many mentors. They are not necessarily people that I talk to, right? It's their books that I've read. Right now I'm doing a lot of leadership training. So this year I really want to take my leadership level up. And so I'm reading books about leadership, and they're not necessarily all in network marketing. I'm listening to Simon Sinek right now on Leaders Eat Last. But what's so interesting is a great leader is somebody that gets people to follow them. Good, George read that. Yeah, it's a great book, and I'm only halfway through it, I think. But anyway, it's a great book to learn about leadership and why different things don't work because other places have done it. And I think in network marketing, we just have such a huge opportunity to grow as a person, right? Because when we come in, we might be at a certain spot, and in order for us to become a leader, we've got to grow in that. Maybe we weren't a leader before, but now we're inspired to be a leader, and we want to have a team, and so we want to lead them somewhere, and then we can be inspired by other leaders in the business. But when you get down to the very nitty-gritty of what this business is about, it's about signing people up, enrolling people, and distributing product, right? Everybody gets in, orders product. 9 times out of 10, they stay because they love the product. They'll keep ordering it. Sometimes they might leave for a little bit, but then they realize just how good they felt, and then they come back. So moving people and getting them to cross that line is what keeps them here. So getting people in, building that relationship. How many of you have friends that are in business with you that you know they would never, ever leave because you are such good friends, right? And that's what this business is about. And I think in today's society, people have a hard time building relationships with people. I remember when I was, younger, I had this huge group of friends, right? You have this whole circle of influence, all these people you hang out with at school, and, you go to football games together, and everybody groups up and locks arms, and we all hang out, and we just have a blast. And really, that's how I see network marketing, how it is now. Because you have your circle of influence, you have your people that you have relationships with, that you're doing life with. And so why do people come in and then they want to stay? Is they see you doing life, and it inspires them, because they're like, geez, I hardly have any friends anymore. I mean, I can't believe it when I talk to people. They're working so many hours, they don't even have time to enjoy life at all. And then they think they're too busy to do something else. So, right, I've made amazing friendships and uplines and downlines, and this is my where I want to be. This is where I want to be in life, and I want to share that with other people around me. And so this is a business of attraction, right? We want to attract people. When people come to me and they say, oh, I saw your video, or, I was talking to somebody and I just told them how I wanted to meet, somebody more positive and build a relationship. We got somebody making a bunch of noise here. Let me see here who that is. James Kate. Oh, you're not. Did you guys mute? Somebody muted. Okay, good. I appreciate that. But anyway, so it's one of those things where people start seeing what you're doing and they want to be a part of it. And the whole thing about network marketing and feeling like, oh, nobody wants to do this business. Well, if that was a truth, then none of us would really be here, right? The industry, the profession itself wouldn't be around for like 70 plus years. So there's a way to do network marketing, and there's a way to do it right. So, right, George says attract and connect around mutual reasons and values. When you get to know somebody, that's why the coffee shop interview is so powerful. And why we say that, the coffee shop interview, and people are like, oh, I don't know if I like that. It's just getting to know somebody. That's all it is. You should do a coffee shop interview if you're single and you're trying to meet new people. Think about it. Ask them how their life's going. Ask them what's going on. If they are a totally negative person, right? And my daughter's young, and I was like, when you date, you should tell some stories and just see how people react to them, right? And then you'll know what kind of person they are. And so would you have saved the cat out of the tree? No, the cat was stupid and shouldn't have climbed up there in the first place, right? And you're like, all right, there's no empathy there. And so that's what this interview does, is it really gets you to understand who someone is, where they're coming from, what's going on in their life. And again, it doesn't always happen on the first encounter or the third encounter. Who was it? Somebody said, he said, do you meet somebody and on the first date, you invite them, back to your house? Probably not. It's a little bit too early. It's a little bit premature in the presentation here. And so the interview is so powerful because it allows you to get to know someone. And guess what? Not everybody, you don't want to invite everybody to do this business. And sometimes I have someone that just, it's actually a family member, which is kind of strange, but I'm not allowed to talk about this business or the products to my in-laws. And what I didn't know is my husband had like a knockdown drag out with his family when I wasn't around about what I'm doing and my products, and how they just felt like that's all I ever talk about. Because I'm passionate about it, right? I want to help people. So I'm like, all right, I'm not going to talk about it. But yeah, we can't mention it to my niece or nephew, correct. I can't talk about it to my sister-in-law who has colon cancer. I can't talk to it about my sister-in-law whose mother actually killed herself because she has had arthritis, and it was so extremely painful that she just said she could not live any longer. I can't talk about it to my brother-in-law who's diabetic and he's already had one toe amputated. But okay, I respect that. So, but there's a lot of people out there that I can talk to who want to learn. And so I just want to educate people so that they understand what the products can do, depending on where they are coming from. Again, some of you have heard me talking about my friend. Oh yeah, that's sad. Yeah, we have people who are extremely ill around us, and we feel like our hands are tied, like we can't really say anything to them. And when you build that trust and that community within them, and I look back and I'm like, all right, I probably was a little bit of a, moony with my family, with my in-laws, and maybe I could have gone about it in a different way. But I think what happens, we get so excited because we know we've got something who can help them. Yes, Gary, people are stubborn. But so I started taking a step back and saying, okay, so how can I educate people in this concept of there might be an idea, there might be a way to help them. And so that third party, right, is amazing. And so use your upline or sideline, or I got people in my downline that are great at three-way calls, and they fit the people that I'm talking to. So obviously I want to use them. And so building this business and getting people in and moving them along, and getting people in, getting them plugged in, and moving them along is how you build a strong network marketing business. And I remember Corey Gold, one time I was on a call that he did, and he said, your auto ship is an indication, how many auto ships you have is an indication on your business and how it's growing. How many of you know how many auto ships you have in your business? And I want to know, like, if you know that you have, and I don't need the numbers, but how many of you treat this business like it's a real business? I'm in my back office, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 times a day. When I see somebody sign somebody up, I call them as soon as I can. and congratulate them on signing up somebody. And it doesn't matter if they're just a customer, if they're a CEO, or if they ordered a Healthy Start Pack. It's a congratulations on them enrolling someone into their business. It's a congratulations on them, what do I want to say, stepping, a lot of times they're stepping out of their comfort zone, right, if they sign somebody up. But it's a congratulations on, look, you're doing what you need to do in your business. So there's no distinction for me in my business, for my people, as to if it's a CEO, if it's a customer, if it's an associate. However somebody comes in, that's beautiful. That's perfect. Oh, okay. Having the same issues. Yes. Okay. So auto ship. How many people have you had somebody say, well, I just don't believe in this auto ship stuff. I think that's crazy. Why do I have to have an auto ship? And I remember I used to have the same thing. I'm like, well, if I have to, how did I even think that I could make money without buying product, right? Without actually participating. And so what I say today is, when you own your own business, you have to show up, right? You have to invest and show up. And part of that is purchasing products, because we have to try the product so we can share an experience. Okay, let's see here. Wait a minute. Let's see. I have to treat it more like a business than I am, but am very hesitant about approaching people, and I'm working on it. So Priscilla, when you talk about approaching people, are you just approaching people to talk to them, to get to know them, or are you approaching people about the business? And then Brenda says, it is very convenient, and I add change, delete items, auto ship before ship. Yes. Are you there, Priscilla?
I start out trying to get to know them.
Okay.
And then go into something about the business.
Okay. So when you say trying to get to know them, how are you going about? I mean, is this somebody that you meet, like a cold, brand new?
Yes, just talking with them.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And
then, how do you know when it's right to introduce the business?
Well, they may make a comment about their health or some such thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll mention it, but then I never hear from them again, or they just say no thanks.
Okay. Okay. So can I coach you on that?
Sure.
Okay. So here's the deal. When I meet somebody new, and they tell me they've got, 6 health issues, or that they're broke, and the first thing that comes through my mind is, oh my God, longevity. I need to talk to you about longevity. But guess what? They don't even know me. They don't trust me. They don't know who I am. I just started chatting with them, maybe in line at a grocery store or something. And so what you can say is that if they say something like they have a health issue or something like that, you say, wow, I know somebody who has that same kind of a health issue. Would it be okay if I sent you some information about that? Okay. Now you don't sound like a salesperson. You sound like somebody that's genuinely interested in them getting educated about their health. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
So if you start talking about, people's eyes, you could just see it, their eyes just start glassing over. When you start talking about, oh, I'm with a vitamin mineral complex company, or I'm with a supplement company, and they're just like,
oh no, not another one.
How many, another one of those, right? So if it's a person that you can start building a relationship with, then you can say, oh my gosh, I'm going to send you, some information, and just read it over if it makes sense, or, you might say, oh, I have a CD that really talks about some different things. Go ahead and mute here. I've got it, I work with somebody, and, they've got a real different outlook on health today. and which is definitely Dr. Wallach's, is not your norm. And so a lot of people think they already know that, but it's really to start building that relationship. And so you might send them a tool or something for them to look at, or you might invite them to something, if you knew something was going to be a talk or something like that. Anyway, there's always things and tools and stuff that you can plug people into. And it might just be golly, you know what? I have a friend who I know had somebody that did that, and I could send you some information if you give me your email, because people are pretty easy about giving you their email versus a phone number. But if you know this person, you're going to see them again, you're going to see them over and over again, then, what you might do is then just continue to build the relationship. And then at some point, like the coffee shop interview says, is you go back to that person and go, gosh, you were telling me about how, you have arthritis, really severe arthritis. And so I've got this great video that I would love to share with you. And it might just give you some insight on some ways to, help with that. And if you have any questions, then I can guide you. And so then people are like, oh my gosh, that is so nice, right? Because our agenda is out of the way. I don't know who else. I'm going to mute you, Priscilla, because I think I'm getting some noise here. But anyway, so, that's how, it's funny because I'm in this leads group, and I've been in there for, be interested, not interesting, right? John and Sherry, exactly. And let's see, and I recommend some products for their particular issues they discuss with me. That's true too. I mean, but see, the thing is that when we start telling them about products, then they start thinking we want to sell them something. Until they're ready to say, wow, tell me more about that. That's why the whole telling your story, right? Telling a powerful story. And so then you say that, you know what, this is what I'm doing, and I really want to help other people get better health, just like I do, just like I have. And then they're like, really? Well, tell me more. How are you getting better health? Okay, Lanny says she's got to go to a meeting. Bye, Lanny. I share the 12 bad foods with them, and 90 for life disease categories, etc. And Dr. Wallach's radio shows. Okay, so that is going to be somebody that you've got a good relationship with already, somebody that's very interested in helping, learn more and want to know more about their health. That's when you start giving them the 12 bad. Do you know how many people I talk to about the 12? Oh, I can't do that. I can't do that. Because they don't understand the concept of what Dr. Wallach's premise is. And so you've got to get that relationship going. You've got to get that to the point where, so I started talking about my leads group, and there's some people in there that really, they have some health issues and stuff, right? And so I actually invited somebody that we've, James here is, we helped rebuild his knee, and he's in business. I invited him to be a guest at this leads group. And so one of the things we do in the lead group, was kind of cute, is we give shout outs to other people in the business that we've worked with. And so this guy, invited him, and then he gave a shout out about longevity and what he had happened with him and his health improvements. And this must have been, it had to be like 6 months ago, maybe 7. So he came and gave this testimonial. And then I had somebody come up to me and goes, I really was intrigued by that gentleman's testimonial, and I have some issues, and I'd like to talk to you more about it. And I'm like, okay, well, let's do that. And so I sent him, some information. I found out what his issues were, but look at what the difference was, is he came to me. How easy is that? He came to me. And so then I'm in this other integrated health council and community. And so guess what? We get to go around and talk about our businesses and what we do. And so do I say I'm in a vitamin and mineral complex business or nutritional business or this or that? No. I say I'm really passionate about helping people get their health back and understanding, and because this is a health thing. If it was a business thing, I'd talk about business. But understanding how they can improve their health by doing some things that might not be really common in what's going on out there right now. And so people are like, Well, what does that mean? And so then you can expand on that. But what you want is you want people to ask you for more information instead of just puking all over them, and then having them walk away going, and I've had people puke on me, in other network marketing companies, they just throw up on me. And, one person was like, oh, you'll do our business. You'll take our products because they're so good. And I'm like, you don't even know who I am. You don't know what I do. And it just so happens she's in that, I always call it Juicy Juice or whatever that other company is. They got the little chewable vitamins or whatever. And so she didn't know that I was already in a supplement company because she didn't bother to get to know me. But I asked her all kinds of questions and never did tell her what company I was with until we went around the room and talked about, our companies and what we do. So think of really about who you are in longevity and what it is that you do, right? Why are you here? I did a whole training on for Super Saturday on why are you here? And so people start off at the surface. Well, I'm here because I want to make money, or I'm here because I want to get my health back. And I always said, well, I was here because I want to get paid to have coffee with my friends. But really what I wanted to do is I want to have solutions for the people that are sitting across the table from me, right? I wanted to have something that when remember the water cooler, right? And people are just, they're moaning about they don't make enough money, or they don't have good health, or, their family's sick or whatever. And so if I just said right then, oh, I got something for you, right? But I don't want to do it right then, because then it feels like a sales pitch. What I want to do is call them back in a couple days, go, I was thinking about you. And I was telling my friend, and you were saying you have to go in for a knee replacement. Well, we've got this mutual friend of ours that, he did some things and he didn't have to have a knee replacement. Do you want to meet him? Do you want to talk to somebody about him? And then you get him on that 3-way call. And so the people in your upline, the people that are your business builders, right? And then the people that are more around the product. And so I just use my little arrows in my quiver here to help support whoever it is that I'm talking to over the phone. And then the other thing is really, it's so important for people to hear that dead doctors don't lie, right? To understand who Dr. Wallach is and what the mission is. And what I say is, like, you're going to listen to this. I mean, you commit to listen to this, you're going to hear some stuff that might be really new to you. You're going to hear some stuff that you might have never heard before, but get an understanding of where we're coming from, because I think it's so important. And once they listen to that, they get a little bit better understanding. Well, you know what? I think I do want to try these products. Dr. Wallach talked about arthritis, or Dr. Wallach talked about this. It's so funny because I have this chiropractor that came in and he's like, I just want to try the products. I've been in every other network marketing company. And I mean, he is a member of about every other company out there. I've tried every supplement, and some of them are okay. But guess what? I'm just going to try your products. So I'm not going to sign up for the business. I'm like, that's okay. And so he starts trying the products, and then all of a sudden I get this text, I'm in, right? Because he started having results. But if I was like trying to say, look, you need to come in, you need to do the CEO pack, you need to, and I'm not saying that anything against CEO packs, because in a lot of places they're a good thing. But what I'm saying is I had to meet him where he was at. He wanted to try the products. Now he's bringing people in here. We're watching, oh great, Priscilla, she just signed up for chiropractor. That is excellent, because those people really want to help the people, and they see a lot of sick people coming in there, and chiropractic only does so much, right? So now they can be more of a wellness group versus just chiropractic. But get to know your people and why they would want to do this before you start pitching them on why they want to do this, right? It has to be their idea. We love to buy, but we don't like to be sold, right? We want it to be our idea. We want it to be something that we thought about and we decided that we want to do this. And the same thing with crossing that line, right? Getting your people to cross that line. So coming in is just being the product user, or just beginning and starting. And how do you get people to that event? How do you get people to attend a meeting? How do you get people to watch a video? How do you get people to plug in? Right? You got to find out where they're at and what they want to do and what they want to accomplish and what they want to learn more of. If you want to learn more about the oils, that's great. We've got a place for you to go and learn about the oils. Anything else, you guys? I know it's only like 6:07. And is there anything that you guys want me to touch on that would give you a better understanding on anything in this business? Oh, Priscilla, you're so welcome. Anybody have anything? You can unmute if you have a question or you want to share something that you think might help other people. George, thank you. I appreciate that. So this let's see. Oh, thank you, Pam. Pamela. Do you go by Pamela or Pam? Pamela. Either way. Okay, you're easy. Okay, good, good. One of the other things that I'll just kind of throw out there when I was talking about the why are you here, and again, I'm going to go back to Simon Sinek because he says start with why, and he talks about companies, right? Especially Apple. Apple, they start with their why all the time, and so when you think about why you're here, it's got to make you want to work. You know how they always say, find the why that makes you cry or whatever. Figure out what the why is going to be to make you work. And it's got to be deep. It's got to be more. You know, a lot of people, like, you know, Tom's always talking about that he loves to help the homeless and, you know, the underdogs and what have you. So longevity is his vehicle to be able to do that. So I never thought that I wanted to be a vitamin and mineral selling person. That's not even who I think I am. You know, I'm a person that I want to help people live a life of great health and prosperity. That's what I want to do. I want to have those solutions. You know, like I said earlier, I want to help people just live the best life they can live. And longevity is the vehicle for that. And maybe people aren't into nutrition. A lot of times, you know, they just want the coffee or they just want something else. But that's okay, because eventually they'll find the nutrition. Eventually they'll start seeing that, and then they'll start participating in the products. And so they might start over here and end up over here with everything. Okay, so how could you reach out to someone? Oh, wait a minute. Okay. How do you find the people with health stories? So Mindy, are you talking about testimonials within the company? What are you talking about there as far as health stories? I'm not sure. So write that. How would you reach out to someone on Facebook? So I've got tons of friends on Facebook, and but they're not really friends, if that makes sense. My husband said to me the other day, oh, this lady, she befriended me, and he rattled off this name, and I said, I don't know who that is. He goes, well, you're friends with her on Facebook, right? But I don't have a relationship with her. I haven't created that. And I still don't even know who she is, so I'll have to go back and look that. But how do you, okay, have a great trip, Pamela. I love you. Thank you so much for everything, and have a great trip and be safe. Is reaching out on Facebook is, again, it's just like having a coffee shop interview on Facebook. And so sometimes I see people will make some comment about something, and I'll go, oh, you know what? I know, again, right? I know someone who has that kind of an issue. And here's a great video, but you got to make sure that it's something that ties back to you, right? Here, I want to share something with you. And so you just want to share something with them to help them, educate them. That's really, if you know, we're about educating. And so when people say to me, oh, I keep trying to convince this person, you can't convince them. You just have to give them little bits of information, a little bit here, a little bit there, and it might take a while. But you have to be patient, and you have to follow up. It takes time, Brenda, you're right. So successful recovering from a knee pain that would require knee replacement, someone successful overcoming dementia. Okay. So those kind of things, I mean, there are different testimonials that I have found on Facebook, or different testimonials. We have a bunch of them, actually. I think there's some on the longevity site. But this, here you go. Are you ready? That's why you come to conventions, because you see people walking around and you find out what their stories are, and it will flipping blow you away. My first convention, I remember talking to a gentleman who had arthritis so bad that his fingers were mangled, okay? And he showed me his hands. They were perfectly straight. But ironically, his daughter and her husband died in a car accident, and they had to take on their 3 grandchildren. And he said, I thought to myself, there's no way I can do this in the condition that I'm in. And he was right? He was right. He had to figure out a way to get his health back. And so he was ready, right? We talk about when people are ready. He was ready to figure out and find a solution. But guess what? Some of the testimonials that I still tell today are from the meeting people at the convention and getting to know people in longevity. The stories and the testimonials will just blow you away. Edna Yates, I don't know if you know about Edna Yates, but she was in a wheelchair with MS. And I met her at a convention, and she was walking, and she told me her story, how she went from a wheelchair to a walker to a cane, that she kept forgetting to carry the cane until her grandson said to her, Grandma, maybe you don't need the cane anymore, because she kept forgetting it at the grocery store, and then they'd have to go back and get it. And it was true. She didn't need the cane anymore. So that's a great place to meet people with testimonials. Or you can even go on Facebook to the longevity site, right? And you can put out on the private. If you guys are not part of the private, then let me know, and because you can get invited or request, right, to get on the private longevity page, Facebook page. But you can ask people on there if they have testimonials, and people are more than willing to talk about their experiences. And so meet different people, find them, and learn their story, and then get their number. Edna and I have created this tremendous relationship. We were a roommate on a cruise, and so I have used that story to share with other people who have MS. Most of the people, if you hear some of their stories, they had diabetes, they had arthritis. Some of the people that have come to longevity, they have like 4 or 5 chronic diseases. And it's incredible what they have experienced and what they've come through. And, I have a guy on my team, if you ever have anybody that has heart trouble, Bob Phillips, he had a heart attack at 49 and didn't think he'd ever be able to go back to work or do the things that he was trained to do anymore. Okay, so let me read some more of this. There is a dentist from the thyroid series who uses laser technology to determine if someone has hidden cavities that will cause many problems. So that is also a factor in dementia. Yeah, there's so many different things out there that, let me look here. Adrenal deficiencies, and most important is the gut health for the, right. So yeah, so we know all that. So here's the deal. You get people on their 90 essential nutrients, and you just say, look, just start doing this and see what comes about, because a lot of times it will start taking care of what's going on. Very serious is a later technology. Okay, so getting people on the 90 and letting them try that and start experiencing better health, right? And then after 90 days, start figuring out what it is that you can help them more with. Does that make sense? So build off of that. A lot of times we're like, okay, you need to be on this, you need to do that, you need to do this, you need to do that. And people just like, what? I can't take, 20 pills. But if you get them on the 90 and they start experiencing good health, and some of the symptoms they have start going away, then you can start kind of fine-tuning what it is. So, okay. All right. Does anybody else have anything else that they want to add or ask? Because otherwise we might shut this off just a little bit early. Is everybody okay with that? All right, let's see. Yep, okay. Anybody have anything else that they want me? I can put up links. Do you guys get the whole enrollment team contest thing that's going on here? Do you have any questions? Yes? Okay, good. This has been great. Thank you, Mindy. Thank you, guys. You know what? Have a great Tuesday. We're going to do a presentation here in a little bit. And yes, it has been recorded. So that will be up on the Masters of Enrollment website probably tomorrow. And it'll be in the tab that says, it says like live Zoom videos and then the recordings right underneath that. So thank you guys. Love you all. Hit me up at the convention. Text me anytime. Most of you have my number, 303-667-1271. Have a great rest of your night. Yeah. So
Bye.
you just give me, yes!
Bye.
Bye. Bye, Priscilla. Thank you.
Bye. Thanks, Marianne.
All right, you guys. Have a great evening.
You too.
All right.
Marianne.